Hello and welcome to Educimi's YouTube channel. My name is Harsh Singh and in this video, we shall continue the government schemes in infrastructure sector. Today I have brought to you three specific schemes which are related to the rural life, the life in the village areas and those sectors which need important developments. So the first scheme is the sector that deals with the micro industries. The second scheme is about rural housing and the third one is on the energy security of rural spaces. So let's get started. The first scheme, let's look at this image. There are women who are creating these flatbreads, papads, right, at informal levels. There are people who are trying to sort these spices and condiments, informal level. Preparation of pickles, informalization of the whole sector. And what about processing of meat, completely informal sector. Now, instead of making it informal, can we make it a formal sector? This is why the scheme PMFME, formalization of micro industries, was initiated. So this is a new scheme, and the prime agenda of introducing a scheme like this is such that the MSME sector contributes as much as almost half of India's exports. Not only that, it contributes to 10 crore people employment. Not only that, it contributes to around 30+% of India's GDP. Should we not formalize a sector like this to be able to give credit to people, to be able to ensure that all the people in micro industries are linked in a formal sector, formal setup, social security? This is why what we expect out of our country to do is to initiate a scheme like this and to have a formal setup for preparation of the food products. So here we see certain food which is being washed through machines. The segregation of food products on the basis of machines, processing of meat in an organized setup. This is what is required, and this is where government has stepped in to say that yes, we will be funding such projects. So this is a scheme under Ministry of Food Processing Industries, right? This is not under Ministry of Skill Development. This is not under Ministry of Agricultural Development. This is under Ministry of Food Processing Industries. So do remember the agency which is releasing it. This is one. Objectives. I made it very clear what was the government trying to do here. It is trying to formalize the whole micro food processing industry, right? So we are talking of food textile parks that are at very, very big scale. At smaller level, can we formalize this industry or not? Yes, we can. So this is one. Second, through this, it will be providing financial assistance to the people for upgradation of their micro industry. It will also provide training and technical knowledge, and it will develop a common infrastructure to be able to brand the product and to be able to market that product. See, so it is an integrated scheme which will be covering a lot of aspects of the micro food processing industry. So these are the objectives. Who are the beneficiary? See, the beneficiary can be one person and a complete group as well. So we are talking of FPOs, farm producer organizations, right? It will not only provide facility, that means finance, for initiating a new setup, it will also provide upgradation of the present facilities. So mechanization of the whole sector will also be done. So this is another beneficiary added here, right? So capital investment will be there to ensure that the whole supply chain is streamlined. That is why we are talking of branding, marketing and keeping in a storehouse, right? So common infrastructure also will be developed, cold storages and warehouses. So these are the people who will get benefited out of this scheme, right? So if the question in UPSC exam is only about beneficiary being individual and groups, this is not true. There are other places also where there will be benefits which will be accrued from this scheme, right? So this is under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, and this is a new scheme. This is a new scheme, that is why very much important. It is a scheme for 5 years. From 2021 to 2025, this will be running, and the idea is to ensure that 2 lakh formalization of micro industries be done. How will it be done? The government is linking this to credit linked subsidy. That means if a person is taking credit from a bank, they will be giving certain subsidy. So this is the kind of welfare mechanism government is trying to apply here. And Union Bank of India is the one which will be implementing this project. Not only this, if you see, a very important component of this is one district, one product. So if you go to UP government's website, they have introduced one specific product for one district which they will promote in the formalization of food processing. So for a certain district, the product can be papad. For certain other district, the product can be pickles. For certain other district, it could be meat processing. For certain other district, it could be another product, and so on and so forth. This is how, if one district specializes in one product, it will ensure a faster procurement, it will ensure an optimal pricing of the particular product, it will also ensure better marketing and branding of the product, because it will work through economy of scale, right? That is the prime agenda. Also, one very beautiful component of this project is waste to wealth products, minor forest products, and focus on aspirational districts. See, these are the places from where UPSC will ask questions. Does it have special focus on aspirational districts? Yes, it does. Are we trying to have waste to wealth products also in this, or minor forest produce? Yes, we are. So this is where the catch lies, because general things many people would know. So this is the Prime Minister formalization of micro food processing industries. Next, you can look at this image. These are village houses, rural houses, right? So when rain falls, when there is a bad weather, will people be able to live optimally in the best of health? I'm not sure so. What about this home? So these are traditional huts, but the government is trying to provide people with well-built homes, a home which will have a proper kitchen facility, a home which will have a toilet within it, right? So this is how the complete development of quality of life of person in village areas will be ensured. And the government initiated a scheme which is called as Prime Minister's Awas Yojana Grameen for the same. So which ministry? Ministry of Rural Development. This is the agency which is running the scheme. The scheme has been extended, and the agenda of the scheme is to ensure that everybody gets the housing facility by the year 2022. So objective of the scheme is to provide pakka houses, no kacha houses. So on the left you see kacha houses, right, not being built with brick and mortar. On the right you will see these pakka houses, again thatched houses. These are pakka houses, right? So brick and mortar, PCC, RCC, concrete. So the prime agenda is not only to ensure that people have these houses. If people are living in dilapidated houses, those houses also have to be upgraded. So this is one catch which people could miss, and the prime target is 2022. So this is the objective of the scheme. The agency is this organization, and this is for all the rural areas in the country except Delhi and Chandigarh. See, Delhi and Chandigarh also are largely urbanized places. Now, who are the beneficiaries? Beneficiaries are not only those people who are marginalized in terms of caste and community, SC, STs, they're also the free bonded laborers. Not only them, government is also providing this benefit to the minority section, the disabled community, the people who got martyred, their families, the people who are ex-servicemen, they served in the armed forces and they've come back. So those are the people who will be served first in this scheme. Not only that, this data will be taken from socio-economic caste census 2011. Also, the time span is to complete this by 2022. Allowance will be provided through electronic transfer of funds, and it will be there for two kind of rural areas. One rural area in plain areas where 1.2 lakh will be given by the government, and the other one is hilly areas where government will give 1.3 lakh rupees through electronic transfer. Not just this, the government is going to ensure that every house has the toilet facility and a dedicated kitchen facility, right? So that is why the area of this home was increased from 20 to 25 square meters. So Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Grameen. The third scheme is another important scheme in the rural sector. Now, this is a very important scheme because it talks about the complete energy transformation in the agriculture sector. This is what we have been seeing and using till now. I am talking of the water pumps which are diesel in capacity. So the government provides informally, the marketing companies are controlling the prices of diesel. Yes, they do. And government provides a decent amount of electricity at subsidized rates or free rates in specific states, right? So when diesel is available to people, when electricity is available to people, and when there is water freely available, there is no tax in rural areas, people use a lot of water, and this is how they flood the fields. And flooding the field has its own repercussions. We are firstly wasting a valuable resource. Secondly, we are flooding, and this is causing the soil quality to get degraded, salinization of the soil. So there are various disadvantages of this. So the government is trying to also automate this process by making the process more efficient and sustainable. What is the government doing? Government has initiated a project where there will be solar panels giving energy to these pumps, the solar pumps. So we are talking of solarization of providing of irrigation facilities. And you can very well see here are the solar panels, and this is how the water is being provided. So this scheme is called as Kusum. Prime Minister's किसान ऊर्जा सुरक्षा एवं उत्थान महाअभियान, कुसुम, KUSUM. Now, I would like to translate this. Kisan stands for Urja Suraksha, that means energy security, evam, and Utthan, upliftment, Maha-Abhiyan. So this is a Maha-Abhiyan, that means it is even more than a scheme. So this is called as Kusum scheme, and it can be covered, it can be understood in 4 different components. First is the aim of the scheme, then the long-term impact of the scheme, the components, and what is the target. Very simple. Some upgradations have been made in this scheme, so that is why this is in news. Now, the aim is to ensure that there be energy security for farmers in India. Energy security, long-term energy security can be assured through sustainable energy, and we are talking of solar panels, right? So solar panels can be put above the agricultural fields because one will be cultivating the crops, but if they put a panel right 4-5 feet above the agricultural cultivation, it's not harm, it's not taking extra land, it is also giving energy to people. Not just this, you can also see India has had this intended nationally determined contributions, right? India has committed this to Paris climate change. So India has to ensure that India generates electricity, 40% electricity through non-fossil fuel, and solar energy will be utilized. And this is why the target here, the target in this PM Kusum scheme has been raised to 30.8 gigawatt by 2022. So this is the target for solar panel generation of energy. So let's discuss the 3 components of it. See, the first component is to ensure that we have minimum number of solar photovoltaic panels, right? This is one. The second one is ensuring that these panels be utilized. How? Because we have to solarize these pumps. So we have to use solar pumps. This is the second component. And the third component is if the present level of pumps, whatever energy we are using, can we directly have this energy connected, the solar energy connected, and drive these pumps. I'll tell you why this third component is there. Because if we have solar pumps, there will be new installations. But if we have the conventional pumps only, and this energy is taken and used in the conventional pumps, we don't have to spend on the cost of the pumps. So these are the 3 components. Now the government is enforcing more of the third one because spendings will be less. Because here we'll have to install new pumps. Here the pumps are already there. We have to only solarize these pumps. So this is the third component which has been focused on. First component, the area, the total amount of energy to be generated, this got increased. That is why it is in news. Also, 20 lakh farmers will be given these kind of standalone solar pumps, and 15 lakh farmers will be helped in solarization of their present pumps. So these are the 3 components here. So we discussed the components. We also understood what are the targets, and the short-term benefits and aims we have understood. Also the long-term benefit. In long term, will it lead to financial security of the person? Yes. Yes. Will it lead to water security of the country? Oh yes, very much, because water security, financial security, energy security, all are related to each other. Right? So this is how the PM Kusum scheme is also in news. If you like this video, do share some love on us through comments, shares, and likes. If you subscribe to the channel, you will receive timely updates for the government schemes. Thanks for watching.